A cold wind swept through the narrow alley where Alina stood, clutching the paper bag of cheap medicine to her chest. The fluorescent hospital lights behind her flickered as though even they were losing hope. Her mother had collapsed again. The doctors said the same words they had repeated for months: without the surgery, she won't last long. The bill lay in Alina's trembling hands, the numbers blurring behind her tears. 2 million rupees. Even selling their tiny home wouldn't cover half. The only person in the family earning anything was her younger sister, Zara, working part-time at a beauty salon. And even that barely kept food on the table. Alina was 22 and had dreams once, studying business, opening her own cafe, but life had shoved responsibility on her shoulders early. Since their father died, she had become the family's backbone, the caretaker, the one who sacrificed. But today, sacrifice had reached its limit. As she stepped into their dimly lit house, Zara sprang up. "Uni, what did the doctor say?" Zara used the Korean word they'd picked up from dramas. She always did that when she was scared. Alina forced a smile. "They want to do the surgery soon." Zara wiped her eyes. "How will we pay?" Knock, knock. Both sisters froze. No one ever visited them. When Alina opened the door, an unfamiliar man in a crisp black suit stood beneath the streetlight. His face was unreadable, but his eyes were sharp. "Alina Rafiq," he asked politely. "Yes, my name is Mr. Hader. I represent Mr. Khan, the one who recently visited your mother's hospital ward." Alina stiffened. She remembered. An elderly man with silver hair, accompanied by bodyguards, had visited yesterday. He donated large sums to the hospital. Rumors said he was widowed and lonely. "My employer, Mr. Hader continued, wishes to speak with you regarding a proposal." Zara's grip tightened on Alina's arm. Everyone in the neighborhood knew what kind of proposal an old rich man might offer a desperate girl. "No," Zara whispered fiercely. "Uni, you can't." But their mother's weak breathing echoed from the bedroom, and the surgery deadline loomed. Alina swallowed hard. "I'll hear him out." The luxurious office smelled of sandalwood and money. Walls of glass overlooked the city, glittering like a bed of stars. Alina sat stiffly on the leather chair, her worn dress and scuffed shoes feeling out of place. The old man she had seen at the hospital, Mr. Khan, sat behind a mahogany desk. He looked at her thoughtfully, fingers tapping slowly. "I will not waste your time," he said. "I know about your financial situation. I know your mother needs immediate surgery." Alina nodded silently. "My family insists I remarry for lineage reasons. Your sister Zara is the one I initially considered." Alina felt her heart stop. "Zara, I saw her at the hospital," he continued. "A charming girl. But then I saw you, steady, strong, silently carrying weight your family can't see." He leaned back. "You would make the better wife." Alina forced the panic out of her voice. "Sir, I don't want my sister involved." "If someone must, I agree," he said simply. "So here is my proposal. Marry me, and I will pay for your mother's surgery. Additionally, I will give your family a home and a lifetime monthly allowance." It was everything she needed on a silver platter. Fine print included marrying a man older than her grandfather. Her throat tightened. "Why me? You could marry anyone, perhaps." His eyes softened. "But I don't want anyone. I want someone who understands loyalty. Someone real." The clock ticked, the city lights shimmered, and inside her chest, something cracked. For her mother, she would do it. "I accept," she whispered. Mr. Khan smiled, gently. "Excellent. You will move into my home tomorrow." The ceremony was small, almost surreal. A few witnesses, a qazi, and a legal contract. No fancy dress, no rings, no romance. Zara cried silently but hugged her fiercely. "Come back soon, okay? Don't let him treat you badly." Alina laughed weakly. "I'll be fine." But she wondered the same. Mr. Khan's mansion was more like a palace. She expected to live in some corner room and serve tea to an old man. But instead, after the wedding paperwork was done, Mr. Khan smoothed his beard and said, "I must leave for a business trip tonight. My grandson, Rayan, is the CEO of the company. He will handle everything for you until I return." Alina nodded, relieved. She didn't want awkward dinners with him. She didn't expect what would happen next. The next morning, the mansion was quiet. Sunlight filtered through the long windows as Alina explored the hallways hesitantly. That's when she heard footsteps. Strong, confident, fast. A tall man entered the room, early 30s, sharply dressed, with messy dark hair and eyes like storm clouds. His face was model perfect except for a faint scar near his jaw. He froze when he saw her. She froze even harder. "Who are you?" he demanded. I'm Alina, Mr. Khan's wife." He blinked twice, then burst out laughing. "Very funny. Thieves these days are creative." "I'm not a thief," she said, cheeks burning. "We married yesterday." He stopped laughing. "No, my grandfather would never. I have the marriage certificate." She held it up with trembling fingers. Rayan Khan stared at it as though it were a bomb. Then he looked at her, really looked. "You married my grandfather. He's 78. I know. You're 20, 22, and you agreed to this. For personal reasons." He clenched his jaw, thoughts spinning behind his eyes. "My grandfather doesn't marry," he said. "He hasn't since my grandmother died. Something is off." Alina bristled. Maybe he changed his mind. Days passed. Her mother's surgery was fully paid, early, smoothly, almost too easily. Zara updated her every evening that their mother was improving beautifully. Alina began settling into the mansion, but Rayan watched her like a hawk. Suspicious, distrustful, infuriatingly handsome. One night, she found him in the study, arguing loudly on the phone. "No, I won't hide it anymore. She deserves to know." Alina hovered near the door unintentionally until Rayan turned and spotted her. "You," he said, pointing. "Sit. I'm not a pet. Sit, please." The seriousness in his voice made her obey. He took a breath. "My grandfather isn't coming back." She frowned. "What do you mean?" "He's in Switzerland, receiving long-term treatment. He's been ill for years. He didn't want the public to know. He didn't want me to worry." Alina's heart dropped. "Then why did he marry me?" Rayan rubbed his forehead. "That part one don't know. But here's what shocks me. You didn't marry an old man." She blinked. "What?" Rayan pulled out a document. "Legally, the man you married is named Khan Abdul Rayan. That's his grandson's name," she said. "Your name?" He stared into her eyes. "Yes, mine." The world tilted. "That can't be. I thought." "The old man," but he said. "He used my name for legal reasons," Rayan said softly. "The person who signed the papers was me." Alina's breath stopped. "You're saying, I'm married to you?" "Yes." Her knees almost gave out. Rayan caught her elbow gently. "I didn't know," he murmured. "He tricked both of us." The news shattered Alina's understanding of her own life. But the documents were real. The nikahnaama was legal. Their signatures matched. Rayan was now legally her husband. They began awkwardly, avoiding each other in the huge mansion, passing in hallways, sharing meals silently, pretending the bond didn't exist. But fate, as always, had its own plans. One rainy night, she climbed onto the balcony to watch the storm. The wind whipped her hair, and raindrops kissed her cheeks. Rayan stepped out too, holding a cup of tea. "You'll catch a cold," he said quietly. "I don't mind the rain." She looked away. "It's refreshing." He studied her carefully. "You sacrificed your life for your mother." She stiffened. "I'd do it again. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me?" He paused. "Probably not." A sad smile touched her lips. "Exactly." They stood together in silence, rain thundering around them. Then Rayan said something unexpected. "My grandfather chose well." She turned, confused. "What?" He saw something in you. Strength, loyalty, innocence, a quality you can't fake. Alina felt warmth creep up her neck. "I don't know who I'm supposed to be," she admitted. "Your wife, his, a charity case, a burden." "Stop." Rayan stepped closer. "You are none of those. You're Alina, and that is enough." Her breath hitched. For the first time, she noticed the softness behind his cold eyes. For the first time, he didn't look like a stranger. Days turned to weeks. Rayan started speaking to her more, asking if she'd eaten, if she needed anything, if she liked living here. He introduced her to the staff, arranged for her to continue studies online, and even gave her access to the library. He didn't treat her like a burden. He treated her like something precious. One afternoon, she found him cooking in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, hair messy. "You cook?" she asked, surprised. "Only when I'm stressed." "Are you stressed now?" "Very," he said, flipping a paratha with too much aggression. She laughed. He froze, staring at her as though hearing her laugh was a rare privilege. "I like that sound," he murmured. Her heart thudded. Shared breakfasts turned into conversations. Conversations melted into comfort. Comfort grew into something warm, dangerous, and undeniably real. Still, she reminded herself, she was here because of duty, not love. But Rayan, Rayan felt like home. It happened unexpectedly. She was arranging flowers in the living room when she accidentally pricked her finger. A tiny drop of blood appeared. Ow! Rayan rushed over immediately. What happened? Just a small cut. He took her hand gently, inspecting it like it was priceless. You scared me, he whispered. It's nothing. To me, it's not nothing. She looked up, startled. He exhaled shakily. Alina, I've tried to keep my distance. Tried to respect your sacrifice, your pain. But every day, being near you, he swallowed. It's becoming impossible. Her heart pounded painfully. Rayan, I don't want this marriage to be just a legal mistake, he said. I want it to be real. If you'll let it. She froze, torn between fear and the aching warmth blooming inside her. I don't know if I'm ready, she whispered. He smiled softly. Then I will wait. A month later, a letter arrived from Mr. Khan. Alina opened it with trembling hands. My dear children, you have both suffered because of my choices. I only wished for Rayan to find someone who would teach him humility and love. Alina, you are that person. This marriage is my gift, and my apology. If either of you chooses to annul it, I will not object. But I hope you give this bond a chance to grow. Alina reread the letter, tears filling her eyes. Rayan stood behind her silently. You're crying, he said softly. It's just overwhelming. He wiped her tears gently. Then let's face it together. She stared at him, the storm in his eyes now softened into something warm and steady. He extended his hand. Alina, will you stay? Not because of duty, but because you want to. She took a shaky breath. Her mother was healthy. Zara was safe. Her heart was no longer hers. Slowly, she placed her hand in his. Yes, she whispered. I'll stay. Rayan pulled her into his arms, holding her as though she was the most precious thing in the world. And for the first time since everything began, Alina felt truly, beautifully free.